Readers, our objective today is I can hold on to an idea while I read forward in my book, adding or changing my thinking as I read. So yesterday we were talking a lot about those big ideas that showed up in our text, Pink and Say. And we know that Pink and Say is a historical fiction text. And I want you to know today that sometimes those big ideas are called themes. So there are some common ideas or themes throughout most historical fiction texts. Those themes or those big ideas are cruelty, courage, power, and resistance. Cruelty, that's meanness, hate, things that are not good is cruelty, being mean. Courage is that bravery that someone or something has. Power is being able to have a strength, something that you're good at. And then resistance, that's going against something that is being forced on you. So we're going to go into Pink and Say today, and I'm going to model how we do this. How do we look for big ideas, pushing through the text, and keeping track of those big ideas or those themes that we're thinking we're finding, and seeing how our thoughts change or possibly stay the same as we get through the text. I have shortened this. I'm not going to read the whole text, but I pulled a few pages, some pages that are familiar from yesterday. So this is that page when we learn that Pink knows how to read. I think one of our big ideas could be power. Pink knows he couldn't truly be owned by anyone. He knows his mind is powerful because he can read and think. That was one of those small details I found yesterday. Pushing through the book, here's the part where Momo Bay is asking Pink to read to them. And then there's a moment when Say accidentally announces, without even thinking, that he wished he knew how to read. And honestly, in that moment, I was thinking, oh no, Pink can read, but Say can't read. And how embarrassing that must feel for Say to not have had an opportunity to learn how to read. And as you continue reading, you see that he's talking about how his face is flushing up, but then he goes ahead and he doesn't just give up or feel too ashamed. He keeps sharing his life with them. So I think a big idea could be courage. And I wrote, Say said he wished he knew how to read without thinking. He was embarrassed after he admitted it. He felt safe enough to have it come out of his mouth so easily. It was courageous of him to stay and keep sharing parts of his life. All right, pushing through the text on this page just before the boys are caught, Pink gives Say his spectacles. And he says, if they catch me with them, there'll be trouble for sure. And right here, I'm thinking, yeah, there's definitely some courageousness here, but this is power again. Pink knew that if they were caught, they could be in a lot of trouble. If Pink was found with spectacles, they would figure out he could read. This would make the men afraid and hurt Pink and Say. Pink is having power to let go of his evidence, of his own power, his reading, his ability to read, and he does that to protect both of them. So, thinking about a big idea or a theme, I'm going to take what I've done as I've read through the text. I've thought of places where there might be some big ideas, and I'm going to sum it up with one main big idea. There is probably more. In fact, I know there are more than just this one in this book. But this is the one I'm going to focus on with you guys today. I think a big idea in Pink and Say is power. Pink uses spectacles to read, and reading gives you power. Masters did not want slaves to have the power to think for themselves. When Pink hands say the spectacles, it's like he is giving up his power because he understands as a slave he should not have any. So today, your assignment is to reread the text Pink and Say by Patricia Polacco. Using the common themes found in historical fiction, decide on a big idea from the text. Don't forget, big idea and theme, same thing. They mean the same thing. So those big ideas or those themes that are common are cruelty, courage, power, and resistance. You're going to write about why you think that is a big idea by providing evidence through details in the text.